Cabinet called on South Africans to continue to rally behind the country's economic reconstruction and recovery plan to ensure that as a country we keep the momentum of growing the economy and creating much needed jobs. Cabinet acknowledges that the country has a long way to go and more work needs to be done to address the challenge of unemployment in the country. On the state visit to the United Kingdom of Great Britain and North Ireland, Cabinet welcomed the historic presidential state visit to UK that took place from 22nd to the 23rd November. His Excellency President Ramaphosa was the head of state who was voted by the British monarch, His Majesty the King Charles III, since his accession to the throne in September 2022. A royal visit is the highest honor bestowed on the country by the UK to further promote bilateral relations, and it symbolizes the importance of the UK, the importance the UK ascribes to its relationship with a particular country that has been invited. The presidential state visit, which marked a continuation of strong bilateral ties between South Africa and the United Kingdom, resulted in the launch of the next phase of the UK-South Africa infrastructure partnership. The partnership supports South Africa's economic growth through major infrastructure development and offers increased access to UK companies in projects worth up to €5.37 billion over the next 3 years. I beg your pardon, £5.37. Sorry. The visit focused on upgrading trade and investment levels between the two countries and also creating more opportunities in the British markets for South African goods and commodities. During the United Kingdom South Africa Business Forum, numerous business opportunities on offer were profiled to UK investors who pledged their continued engagement with South Africa. South Africa and the United Kingdom also signed a memorandum of understanding on cooperation in science and innovation as well as health cooperation that would focus on the vaccine manufacturing special zone, which is commonly referred to as TASES. Cabinet welcomed the introduction of the next generation Ford Ranger by Ford Motor Company of South Africa, which saw a capital investment of $15.8 billion. This resulted in all 10 auto component manufacturing companies located in the TASES officially entering into the full cooperation. The investment by the component manufacturers amounted to 3.6 billion rand and created 1,259 permanent jobs, benefiting youth about 76% and women 32%. TASES was established as a special purpose vehicle production zone with mandate to create employment opportunities and promote economic preparation for small, medium and micro enterprises in the region. Its first phase of development was aimed at creating additional infrastructure and capacity within the Ford manufacturing company South Africa supply chain to support South Africa to be one of the only 3 hubs in the world to produce the next generation Ford Ranger. On the National Digital and Future Skills Conference, Cabinet welcomed the outcome of the National Digital and Future Skills Conference held in Mhlanga, KwaZulu-Natal from 2022 to 2022 to strengthen our nation's advance in the area of digital and future skills in South Africa. Hosted by the Department of Communication and Digital Technology in partnership with Dutch Gezelschap für International Zusammenarbeit, which is commonly referred to as GIZ. The conference aimed to, among other things, strengthen partnership in the area of digital and future skills in South Africa, create and stimulate interest in digital and future skills, and explore digital skills training opportunities available for youth presented by the Fourth Industrial Revolution. The conference forged partnership between government, business, civil society, international development organization, youth organization to take our nation forward to the digital era. New Tutuzela Care Center in Limpopo. Cabinet welcomed the opening of Tutuzela Care Center in the Dilokong Hospital at Dilokong Village in Trikop, Limpopo on Tuesday, 22 November. The one-stop facility offers service in support of victims of gender-based violence and femicide and sexual crimes. The center is the 62nd to be opened across the country and fulfills the commitment government made to 2018 Presidential Summit against GBV to build more of such centers. On the AG's Consolidated General Report 2021-22, Cabinet welcomed 2021-22 Public Finance Management Act audit outcomes of the national and provincial governments, which were released by AG Tsagani Maluleke on Wednesday, 23rd November 2022, under the theme Open Code, a culture of accountability will improve service delivery, close quote. Cabinet noted the gradual upward trend in the audit outcomes of national and provincial governments, but expressed concern that key service delivery portfolios continued to receive poor outcomes. Based on the completed audits of 160 departments, 47 departments had improved and 12 had regressed. Similarly, of the 238 public entities with completed audits, 67 had improved and 34 had regressed. Cabinet affirmed government's commitment to taking corrective measures to address the root causes that lead to poor audit outcomes and remove weaknesses to achieve clone audit and continue to reinforce forward those that are continuing to improve. Safer Festive Season campaign. Government recently launched the 2022 Safer Festive Season campaign under the theme Open Code, more boots on the ground towards enhanced policy visibility, close quote, to ensure the well-being and safety of all residents and tourists in our country during the festive season and beyond. Heightened police visibility will include intensified and integrated crime prevention and crime combating operations by South African police services and other law enforcement agencies. Cabinet calls on all people to work with law enforcement authorities to keep our communities safe. As the traffic volumes on our national roads increase, all road users are urged to be vigilant and obey traffic rules and regulations such as speed limit. Do not drive while under the influence of alcohol. Always wear your safety belt, keep a safe following distance, and stop at safe place to rest after at least every 3 hours for driving. Be courteous to other road users so that we can all reach our destination safely. Cabinet urges everyone to take extra care this season to ensure their own safety and that of others, especially children, who must be supervised at all times. By exercising extreme care and responsible behavior, we can guarantee an enjoyable time of celebration with family and friends. South Africa's Green Hydrogen Summit. Cabinet welcomed the successful conclusion of the country's inaugural Summit 2022 of Green Hydrogen in Cape Town from 28th to the 30th November 2022, which showcased our nation's offering as a world-class green hydrogen production hub. In increasing the environment for the green hydrogen sector to flourish, government has developed a hydrogen SA strategy that taps into our nation's endowment of renewable energy and platinum, a catalyst in the hydrogen electrolysis process, to position South Africa as a global leader in this new market. The green hydrogen economy is part of our work under Economic Recovery Plan to explore new sources of economic growth that have the potential to revolutionize our economy and create new jobs. The launch of the Artificial Intelligence Institute of South Africa. Cabinet welcomed the collaboration between the DCTT, Tshwane University of Technology, and the University of Johannesburg that resulted in the launch of the AL Institute of South Africa, the Johannesburg Business School on Wednesday, 30 November 2022. The first of its kind institute ushers a new era in South Africa's digital transformation efforts. It will stimulate economic growth, address unemployment, and create a positive social impact. The All Institute will expand the teaching of robotics and coding currently being offered in public schools. The Institute is designed to ensure that government, academia, and industry work together in unique partnership to apply their collective knowledge, expertise, and experience to implement coordinated solutions to some of South Africa and Africa's most critical and long-standing challenge, and to take the continent forward. Government's focus on digital skills includes creating platforms to support and promote the ability of youth and small medium enterprises, in particular startups, to develop a digital continent. On the cabinet decisions, ladies and gentlemen, research report on the economic cost of disability for children with disabilities and persons with physical disabilities in South Africa. Cabinet considered and approved the research report that was commissioned by the Department for Women, Youth and Persons with Disability in partnership with the United Nations Development Programme. The research provides information on disability-related costs on households with children with disabilities and adults with physical disabilities. The research insights provide evidence of cost estimates for, amongst others, the determination of social security benefit subsidization of services for persons with disabilities. This report complements the study also done by United Nations Development Programme between 2013 and 2015 on elements of the financial and economic cost of disability households in South Africa. The report will be published after it has been gazetted. On the rapid evaluation of implementation of government policy on preferential public procurement towards women, youth, and persons with disabilities, Cabinet received an evaluation report that assessed the compliance rate by national and provincial departments on the preferential procurement application on the businesses owned by young people, women, and persons with disabilities. The evaluation covered period from 2018 to 2021. Data was collected from National Treasury Central Supplier Database and respondents from departments to the questions sent to them. The data did not, however, capture information from all departments, but was sufficient enough to guide Cabinet on areas that need strengthening to ensure full compliance. Cabinet approved all intervention recommendations that will ensure government complies with the 40% procurement to women in particular. Some of the recommendations include enhancement of CSD software and the training and awareness raising of accounting officers and supply chain management practitioners in departments. The full report will be posted on the Department of Human Youth and People with Disability website. Science and Technology Innovation, which is shortly referred to as STI, Decadal Plan 2022. Cabinet approved the 2022 STI Decadal Plan, which serves as an implementation guide of the 2019 White Paper, Science and Technology Innovation. Cabinet approved the draft plan in March 2021 and has since enriched through further consultation with relevant stakeholders. The plan has 5 thematic focus areas. 1, modernization of agricultural, space, manufacturing and mining sectors. 2, exploitation of new sources of growth, particularly the digital and circular economy. 4, utilizing STI to support a capable state. And 5, addressing 3 societal grand challenges, namely climate change and environmental sustainability, future of education, skills development and work, and the future of society. The first decadal plan for 2008-2018, together with 2002 National Research and Development Strategy, served as the basis of current decadal plan. These plans advance the government's approach to innovation in South Africa. The document will be made public through Department of Science and Innovation website. On the National Strategy and Risk Management on counter-finance of terrorism and counter-finance of proliferation, Cabinet approved the country's national strategy on AML, CFT, CPF, together with the national.
That line was a bit unstable today. Second time just losing that line, and of course we'll continue to answer. The minister in the presidency, as a matter of course, is reporting on that engagement yesterday, and apparently we've got the line back. Let's take you back.
The implementation of the strategy will ensure that the country strengthens its financial system to support economic growth intervention by reducing levels of finance-related crimes. The strategy also responds to some of the 40 recommendations made after South Africa was assessed by the Financial Action Task Force, commonly known as FATF, an intergovernmental policymaking body that strives to combat terrorist financing and money laundering globally. The summarized two reports will be published on the National Treasury's website. On the green hydrogen commercialization strategy, Cabinet approved the publication of government's green hydrogen commercialization strategy for public comments. The strategy is aimed at ensuring that the country takes full advantage of opportunities provided by green industrialization. The green hydrogen commercialization strategy will ensure that South Africa becomes a major producer and exporter of green hydrogen. It contributes towards economic growth and supports the country's just transition intervention and towards the reduction of carbon emissions. South Africa already has the hydrogen strategy and hydrogen society roadmap adopted by Cabinet 2021, and the rapidly growing green hydrogen market presents huge opportunities for South Africa. On the state litigation strategy for 2021-26, Cabinet approved the state litigation strategy for 2021-26. The strategy seeks to drive the transformation of the legal profession in a systematic manner. It guides on how the state will distribute legal work to legal practitioners, manage the cost of litigation, guide the management of stakeholders, provides for the maximization of the use of technology and systems. The strategy also addresses the development of human capacity management and development. It will be applicable to litigation services of state from all spheres of government. Cabinet also approved the two additional policies to support implementation of the strategy. One, amongst others, being the briefing and outsourcing of state legal work policy, which will introduce an element of fairness and drive the transformational allocation of litigation services that cannot be performed internally. The initiating, defending, and opposing of matters policy will provide clarity on processes to be followed by client departments and the Office of the Solicitor General. The two policies, together with other policies that were approved by Cabinet in November 2021, and the Legal Sector Code, will support the implementation of the strategy. These documents will ensure a meaningful transformational intervention in the legal sector and also ensure the economies of scale in litigation matters that involve the state. On the management of state litigation contingent liability policy, the Cabinet approved the state litigation contingent policy, which provides mechanism to manage state litigation contingent liability. It provides for the creation of central database and the reporting mechanism on the following up of the cases in this database. The policy provides for the mechanism to close dormant case files that were resulting in unreliable contingent liability figures in respect of the accountability. On the bill's formulation, National Sport and Recreation Amendment Bill 2022, the Cabinet approved the submission of the National Sports and Recreation Amendment Bill of 2022 to Parliament for further processing. The bill amends the National Sport and Recreation Act of 1998, 110. The bill has already been published for public consultation. The bill also amends certain definitions and, amongst others, interventions. It proposes the establishment of sports tribunal to resolve disputes between sport or recreation bodies. It outlines procedures to be followed for bidding international events. For international events. The proposed amendment also empowers the Minister of Sport, Arts and Culture to make regulations for vulnerable groups to participate in sport and be protected from any form of sexual abuse or exploitation. On SABC Bill 2022, Cabinet approved the submission to Parliament of the SABC Bill of 2022 for processing. The bill was published for public comment in June 2021. Once the bill is passed into law by Parliament, the current Broadcasting Act 1999, Act 14, will be repealed. The bill, amongst other proposals, reducing the size of non-executive board members from 12 to 11 and executive members from 3 to 2. It revised the governance structure and funding model for SABC. In the repealing of the Transkei Penal Code Bill 2022, the Cabinet approved the submission of the Parliament of repeal of the Transkei Penal Code Bill of 2022 for further processing. The bill repeals the Transkei Penal Code 1983 Act 9, which codified criminal law in the former Transkei, now in part of the Eastern Cape. The proposed bill extends the current application of common law to the former Republic of Transkei in line with our unitary system of the country's judicial system. The Transkei Penal Code is in conflict with the current common criminal law that regulates the same subject matter in different parts of the country. This repeal will remove the continued existence of the apartheid-era legislation in the areas that were formerly known as the Republic of Transkei and others, and provides the transitional arrangement on matters dealt with by this code. On the Constitution's 18th Amendment Bill of 2022, Cabinet approved the submission of the Constitutional 18th Amendment Bill of 2022 to Parliament for further processing. The bill amends Section 6 of the Constitutional Republic of South Africa of 1996 to recognize South African Sign Language as one of the official languages. In May 2022, Cabinet approved the publication and giving of notice to this bill, which together with the notice were subsequently gazetted in July 2022. On the Criminal Law, Sexual Offences and Related Matters Amendment Bill of 2022, Cabinet approved the publishing of this bill for public comments. It repeals the Sexual Offences Act, previously Immorally Act, used to be referred as such, 1957 Act 23. It also repeals the Section 11 of the Criminal Law Amendment Act 2007 to decriminalize the sale and purchase of adult sexual services. The proposal of this bill responds to the list of cost containment. This is a continuous rationalization on issues of efficiencies to reconfigure the kind of skills you require. Generally, it is in that context.
Is there any other round, or we can then say?
Online.
Online, sorry, yeah, yes, Minister, this is online.
Is it Krima?
Yeah.
Plus others.
Okay.
So where's the line?
He's also on behalf of GCIS and behalf of the media group, WhatsApp group. There's a couple of questions, Minister, and you may have responded to it already, but just for the sake of reading out the questions. Sume Naidu, freelance journalist, does indicate which publication, but for two questions. For clarification, can the Minister confirm if the President has any intention to address the nation today or make any other major announcement regarding the continuity and operations of government? Two, did Cabinet get a report from the Justice Minister on the details of his decision regarding the release of inmate Jarul Swalus, on which the deadline is today as per the Constitutional Court decision? That's from Sumen. And then Christian du Plessis from Netwerk 24. Number one, Minister.
The name is?
Christian du Plessis, Netwerk 24. Number one, Minister, What is your reaction to cabinet ministers such as Dr. Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma, who last night during an interview with ENCA said the president should step aside after the Section 189 panel found there is prima facie evidence to start an impeachment inquiry against him? Should the president indeed now step aside? Number two, from Christian as well, a lot of South Africans are shocked by the findings of the panel and might lose faith in the president. What would you say to these South Africans? And then following from that is Yiso Maliti from the Cape Argus newspaper. Number one, in light of the Phala panel's findings published last night, do you still stand by the version President Ramaphosa submitted to the panel? Number two, speculation has been rife about the president's future. Will President Ramaphosa be resigning, or will he stay on? Another question that is from Brandon from the Weekend Argus. You say the Sexual Offences and Related Matters Amendment Bill of 2022 will decriminalise the sale and purchase of adult sex services once it is signed into law. Does this mean sex work as a whole will be decriminalised? Those are all the questions we have for you, Minister. Thank you.
Okay. The president said he will make a pronouncement. I know at times when these developments occur, there's an attempt to make us some prophets in trying to, is it fortune telling? Let's await the president. The point I want to make, colleagues, up to this point, the president has respected the laws of this country. The president is subjected to this process. Up to this point, we have not seen anything untoward in as far as the laws of the country are concerned. And now he says, I have studied the report and I'm still analyzing it. I still stand by my version on certain issues, but I'm ongoingly studying the report, await pronouncements, whatever that's going to be. And where I'm sitting, we've got no doubt in as far as President's response, respect for the laws of this country. Remember, those findings is a report that must be submitted to Parliament, probably depending on the Parliament's decision to kick at other processes. And you know the meaning of prima facie. It says at face value, I'm using my own simple language, it appears this has not gone right. Maybe as an elaborate exercise to check further could lead to something. So prima facie is not a conclusive finding on anything, but it's an indication that there's a need to clarify certain things. So as long as you understand that, but the president says he's studying the report, and we expect nothing new. He has respect for the law, something he has demonstrated all over his life. South Africans are shocked. I think South Africans can be shocked if there's a threat to the laws of this country. I usually say, when laws are threatened, remember what keeps us together in a predictable way. When the laws are kept and adhered to, South Africans are able to go on with their lives because they know as long as those laws are in existence, my life is protected in line with those laws. Whether it's an economic ambition, investment, whether it's a career to pursue, the critical thing, whether it's generations to grow your children, what is fundamental is the respect for the laws of the country. Fortunately, this president has demonstrated the respect for the law. The key thing is his adherence and respect for the law. So now I'm trying to allay the fears in as far as that is concerned. On the Walus, indeed the cabinet was briefed on the matter. Cabinet discussed that matter thoroughly, and all that the cabinet is sticking by is to respect for the law. Cabinet respects the decision of the Constitutional Court, and the minister in the justice is expected to actually follow the law. And again, I'll be lying if we do not understand the pain of South Africans. If people remember how Chris was brutalized, some of us were there on the spot on the same day, almost the same time. Some of us were connected with the developments when that thing happened. We were there. So we understand the pain. But at the end of the day, the future of this country lies again in the respect for the laws. Because there's only one thing that connects minimum all of us. It's law. There's a lot of others that connect us, but the bottom line connector of this country is the law. It is the least thing that you can undermine. So the Apex Court has made a decision. Cabinet respects that. And what else? Let me check. Walus have dealt with that. Was Cabinet briefed on the Parapara? No. Because you remember the findings had not been what you call presented at that stage. Sexual, yes. No, I've responded to that. It's a step aside, it's a call. The step aside has been a call. Minister Moses is not the first. She's one of many people who are making that call. That's why I said it's not a new call. What is key to us is compliance with the laws of the country, which the president has not actually shown us anything inconsistent as far as that is concerned. The decriminalization, indeed, is a decriminalization across the entire sexual community to deal with the issues of abuse, of exploitation of women, male predators who find themselves in that area. It also provides them access to health and a number of other things so that they can be taken care of and be protected like any other South African. So all of them are expected to be actually to be covered by that amendment. Thanks.
Can I just add one thing from the minister? The decriminalization excludes children. I think the bill is very clear that the children are excluded. You will still be prosecuted if you involve in sexual activities with minors. So this dispensation is not including the minors.
You can imagine if on the other side the statutory rape, it cannot change because it's about protecting a child of a particular age who is not ready to take a decision, whose implication is not yet well developed to understand. Thank you.
Thanks, Minister. Are there any other questions? And then we can then, Tabo, that's the last round, colleagues.
Sure. Just on the parliamentary minister, I mean, I hear what you are saying,